Hello, guys. This is The Nation We Want, a show that's focusing on leadership, politics, and governance in our country, Kenya. Joining me today is Benson Otieno, a student of law at African Nazarene University. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you so much, Ivy.
I like your cape.
Thank you.
Is there a deeper meaning to it?
No deeper meaning.
Okay. So let's talk about Speaker's impartiality, whereby we've seen that Justin Muturi, yesterday on a Parliament proceedings, there were issues coming up because he's early to the Deputy President. What do you think about it?
All right, I watched the proceedings and it was very interesting, especially with the areas of law that those people were citing. They were telling us what happened in other jurisdictions, USA, Uganda, Tanzania. Of course, my response to that is that what those people failed to appreciate is that those speakers sat on those stools when they were in that circumstance. But this one is a change of events where a speaker who entered in, seen as impartial, now switches. It is not, you cannot compare that with what happens in US where you're saying a deputy president can be, is the speaker. It's different because that is what happens from the word go. But now this is a change. This is a change where somebody who has been seen to be is now going to be deemed, merely deemed but not seen to be. So I think the Azimio team had good opportunity which they wasted to actually resolve to impeach that speaker. And as per on the grounds of Article 106 to C, they can resolve it. There is no other criteria. You simply resolve. So resolution there means if people decide and you're 2/3, it's good.
Yeah. Yesterday, Fatuma Gedi tabled corruption evidence against DP Ruto. What is the correct approach that should be used, when dealing with government officials in cases such as corruption?
Okay. If I get your question, you're asking whether that was proper, and I don't know in whose eyes. Now, I will answer you in the eyes of the law. In the eyes of the law, you are presumed innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. What Fatuma Gedi did was what I would call whistleblowing. Whistleblowing is where you tell people this is what's happening somewhere which you do not know. So what she invoked was the attention of everybody, which is the attention of the entire country. For me, that is the best and the most authentic audience. There is no authentic audience more than the people. Our constitution talks about with the people. So when you invoked public audience through that measure which Gedi was doing, I call it whistleblowing. It's the best. As it comes to your bench as a judge, this is everybody on earth is aware of it. They're going to weigh. So that is how I would categorize it. As a law student, I would say the doctrine of innocence until proven guilty remains.
But we've also seen the DPP granting the governors who are involved in corruption cases time to campaign so that their cases can proceed from August. Is that a proper way?
For me, it's not a proper measure, because one of the reasons why we come up with those systems is so that we can curtail that practice. If you care so much about your campaigns, you make sure you live as the Caesar's wife. If you care so much about your reputation, you make sure that nobody can actually stand and start claiming that you have some dirt. So if you care so much, because that is why we come up with those systems. We put you on toes using that system. So they should not be granted. Why do we have then Article, basically Chapter 6 of the Constitution, talking about leadership and integrity? Why do we have the Public Office Ethics Act if they are not going to be used? So anybody with those allegations should be stopped, in my view. Yeah.
So according to the nominations that have been carried out of the country, that is in UDA and Azimio, we've seen that the leaders are being granted direct tickets. These are senior leaders. And so what hope do the youth have, because you find that you're told to step down in favor of the other popular candidates who've been loyal to the party? When will the youth have their time to lead?
Of course, they will never have. If you are going to rely on those political parties and dance to the tunes of direct nominations, because like you've correctly observed, the common characteristics with what happened in UDA, ODM or any other party is that no youth was given that direct ticket. If there is any case which I'm not aware of, then it means that person was alone in that area. So where you're competing people, maybe the incumbent, somebody who has served twice or thrice, as a first timer, you stand no chance. So it means if we are going to use the direct ticket in the intra-party democracy, then it means the youth will never be there. Then you would also have to comment concerning the universal suffrage even within the party system. And now it's still a problem. It's still a problem because for me, and what I can see is that these companies, these parties are run like companies, and they are centered into and classified according to personalities, according to ethnicities, according to priorities. Okay, and I don't see any thorough ideology that is associated with either side. So it's a question of people selecting which devil is lesser. They are both satanic. You choose the best one you want to associate with.
Okay, we've also seen women candidates crying of rigging claims. You know, across the country, there was a case in Bomet whereby the lady was rigged out of the nominations. You know, what can we do to help these women who are vying for competitive seats in the country?
Well, I saw it, and that was very unfortunate. I first of all have to say that I'm not a believer of tokenism. Everybody is equal, as the law says. Let it not be misconstrued so that when you are a woman, you feel entitled to a ticket. So it must start from there. Maybe women should first understand that when I'm coming there, I'm coming like an equal, and I'm not entitled to. But you see, the woman was crying because the lady was crying because she claimed there was some serious rigging. So that is quite unfortunate, because we must accept that these women, maybe they are at least disadvantaged somehow. They are venturing into an area which not most of them are there, unlike their male counterparts. So maybe we should see, I think in ODM there's a lot of safeguards for women. I've read their constitution. In UDA, I've not interacted much with what they have for women, but I think we need to protect them through structures, party structures basically, so that we see a way of helping them out in that regard. But it begins with the intrapersonal understanding as a lady. Of course, the youth are here. We see many ladies coming. You must know, when I'm going there, I'm going because I want to compete. If you go with that mentality that I'm going because I'm a woman, then you are going to shock your emotions.
But the argument here was rigging. It was not.
Yes, it was rigging. Yeah. And of course, if you're rigging against a female candidate, then we can assume you are favoring the male against the female.
Not necessarily, it can be individual. You're favoring another individual.
The mere fact that you did not favor me as a woman, and I'm already there, it means even if I'm among other men, you have favored a man.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Let's talk about the fuel crisis. We've seen that the government, the EPRA, has reviewed the prices, and it has gone up by 9 shillings. And what does this mean for the common mwananchi? Or rather, what is the government not doing to mitigate the prices?
I saw that. In fact, it is not about seeing. A distance which I used to cover using 100 shillings, today I used 150 shillings. So any moment you see or you hear fuel prices have increased, then life has changed completely. I run a small business, and I'm planning to go back. When I go back, I'm going to spend 100 shillings more than what I usually spend. It means I have to recover it elsewhere when I go back to my small business. And all my customers are going to retaliate to other people. So that is how people are going to have this problem expand to every other sector. So fuel prices affects everybody, everywhere. And you know, it is not a question of the roads only. You even interact with fuel inside your house. You cook with stoves and gas, and that is everywhere. People who cook chips, if they use those fuel, you will spend more money. Then it means you are affecting everybody. So concerning what the government ought to do, here I just blame the MPs, our members of parliament. And it's quite unfortunate that I don't see that they are better than me, because they go to Twitter crying, and I'm also there on Twitter. Either I'm laughing at their cries through liking on Twitter or retweeting, just to show that we don't like it. So I don't see what our MPs are doing. It's their role to go to parliament. They can petition parliament anytime and change the problem or solve the problem. If they cannot, then we only wait for them on the ballot, and then it's quite unfortunate on the ballot if you're denied again the chance to select people whom you really want. Then that's the problem we are going to face as a country forever. If you're not going to have opportunity to select our people directly through universal suffrage, then there's no cure we are going to give or to bring with the challenges that we continue to face. Let people be there to select their own leaders. The most important leader is not even the president, as Martha Karua puts it. It is your village MCL. I use a simple analogy. If tomorrow a swarm of bees come and lands on top of your mother, what are you going to do? Your area MCA could help with this little car. Will you find the president? The president will be far away. It takes years to find the president. So choose your best people around you.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So we have come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me, Wakili.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yes. So until next time, ciao.
Thank you.